So please walk us, because I think we should change the situation a bit now.
Yeah, definitely yes. So, hello everybody. Ciao. First of all, how much time do I have? 20 minutes, right? 15? 20 minutes. Perfect. So I will just set up here my timer and I'm good. Okay. So first of all, I've seen that now nobody actually is Vibecoding, right? Maybe few of you. Is someone here a startupper? Raise the hand. Is someone here a wannabe startupper in the future? Raise the hand. Has someone made a startup in the past? Okay, few of you. Perfect. I think we are in the perfect time. Besides the fact you want to build something or not in the future, we are getting into the do-it-yourself applications environment, okay? If there was in past a Brico Center and everything else, right now we are getting into do-it-yourself, whatever you want. First question from me, how do you switch and go further with the slides? Okay, there's a hidden technology, which was behind me, and right now we can use it. So today, here, I would like to give you the chance to invest all your weekends into building applications without knowing anything, okay? The way to do it is simple. So, well, first of all, yeah, 2 things about me. I made different startups. Most of them failed, one went well. I do tech stuff from a lot of time. I really enjoy me as super bored guys. But in the last period, I started working into Vibe Dojo, which is where I train people to use AI to build applications, how to make their own projects, and do blah, 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 a lot of stuff with many, many things. Besides that, let's get into the facts. To do this, I want to talk about MVP, first of all. Who doesn't know what is MVP? Raise the hand. Perfect. MVP means, see, MVP means minimum viable product. Whatever you want to build, before creating like the highway, you start with a prototype. The MVP is this. The thing is, there is a philosophy on how to build this kind of stuff. Why I'm talking about this is because if you want to do anything in the future, you want to be driven by yourself, by your own thoughts, by your own ideas, which means you can go fastly into fails, or you can have the chance to learn and iterate super well. So, to do this, I want to start by telling you about, it doesn't work anymore, so right now I can, okay, perfect, thank you. Okay. So how does it work actually? You can start by thinking about thesis. I have a thesis. The thesis could be, for example, people want to buy frozen flavor cream, which is ice cream. But let's say we are not into a world where there are ice creams. So we try to measure it, like trying to sell it, doing something else, and something like that, to actually then start to sell and know that we have something to build. Okay, now it works again, perfect. So using this, we can drive ourselves into building stuff. And now I want to get further because this was just, I was preparing this as a live session, but since I have a PDF, I took a PDF and I started doing with this. What we want to do with this is that I want you to learn that you can surf and browse in the ideas that you want to build. Maybe you have some ideas, and before starting building it, you can start by iterating question on it. When you did this, well, actually, you have the ability to do the mom test. Let's say I want to build something. I don't need to go to people and ask if they are interested in that. I need to ask them what are their own problems. Because if you're gonna ask them, for example, what do you think about sunflower ice cream that can be thrown in the air and explode? They're gonna say, for example, oh, it's magnificent because it maybe are my friends. And people don't want to give you bad advice. And people don't want to make you sad. So, to bypass this, you need to ask, have you ever got the idea to throw ice cream to other people? They're gonna say yes or no, and based on the reply, you are learning if people are interested in your ideas and your points. Why I say this? Because time is crucial, okay? Time is crucial, and I know a lot of people, startuppers, have lost years in building something that nobody cares. But thanks God, right now we are into the AI environment. So I'm gonna going further. Maybe later I can send you the slides if you want, because this is the part of the MVP. Because what I want to tell you is that you can now start building whole application just with few prompts, and this application works. To do this, introducing the Vibecoding. What is Vibecoding? Was something that Andrew Caparthy actually talked about in the 3rd of February of 2025. Vibecoding means, like with the vibes, I vibe, I create applications. So I create apps based on, oh, I want to have this idea of this new feature. I add it just by typing it. And what we use is that we use AI that as time goes further, it becomes much, much, much stronger in building application to create what we want. The thing is that a developer right now changes the work he's doing. First, it was like getting paid to write down code. Right now, it's getting paid to understand the strategy, the technology behind what we're going to do. Is this feature going to be convenient? Because right now, we used to say we are a prompt away from everything. You could be a prompt away from building the new Windows, okay? Which means that the value is totally moved from writing the things into understanding what people want, okay? This is why I was talking about MVP. Because right now, if everybody can create application, why should we care about what we are building? Because it's what, right now, it's more crucial, solving the problems. So Vibecoding lowered the cost of building something. Before, I used to raise $1 million for paying developers and paying it in an application. Right now, I raised $1 million to invest in communication, marketing, strategy, and all that kind of stuff. And also in developers, of course. But it's changed totally the way I'm investing the money. I need less in developers with higher experience. With this, we can use AI, so with the whole knowledge to build everything, and to do this, we need access to knowledge, terminal, and internet, which is something that back in 2025, ChatGPT and other of these platforms used to not have all the time. Okay, so right now it's something that we are used to, but in the last year it was not possible totally. And I tell you, to do this, to build application, you need to throw away ChatGPT, and you need to throw away, for example, the chat itself you are used to use. Because you need to have an AI with full capabilities on writing into the system, on running commands, okay? And how is it called, this AI? Well, it's called, for example, Claude. That maybe of you knows it, okay? Claude has Claude Code. Claude Code, differently from Claude as the chat or Claude Cowork, runs into the terminal, but it's capable of building whatever you want. You can write code, run application, browse the web, doing like also audits on everything you are actually using, so it's a majestic full concentration of power under the prompt of your own keyboard. So I invite you to download it. I use it because then I can connect things like MCP. Raise the hand if you know what is an MCP. Okay, so MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, and is actually the way we can connect AI to all the 40 past years of old code that we have built so far. So we can allow AI to interact with ERPs, application, all the software that right now we are still using an interface. So with all these things connected, we can build a whole new way of apps and solution for ourselves, for our own businesses. I can connect Gmail, Google, Calendar, GitHub. I can start building things without actually need to care about what actually I'm doing. I just want to build stuff. And the thing is, right now, when I wake up in the morning with an idea, definitely the weekend is dedicated just to build this idea. It's fun, and it allows you to create really gorgeous stuff. Right now I'm using it to like sending emails, something like that. Here, just an example. Do you know cryptocurrencies? Raise the hand if you know what are cryptocurrencies. Okay, nobody knows cryptocurrencies here. Perfect. So we know that there is also this new standard, okay, which is for allowing cryptocurrencies to create agents AI to pay with cryptocurrencies between themselves. This is something that right now it's happening slowly, but we know that these curves actually are exponential. And this plus AI on building application allows us to create whatever we want. So think about it. If you have some idea, just to play with it. 10 minutes are passed, and now I want to get into the practical stuff. So to do this, right now, what all this means, it means that we are into the automatization era. Everything is accessible to everybody, which means that all of you can build something, which means that if you're going to win and become rich, it's because you have found the problem where it was and how to solve it. Remember this. And third, we are a new level of productivity. I used to have a software house with 20 employees, 20 developers. Right now, by myself, I build triple of the capacity I used to have with 20 people, just with one person. So think about what you can do that you had never had the chance to. Right now, you have the possibility. You have a full AI team. You can allow AIs to be the product manager, the agent that checks the problem, the bug fixer. You can run query, do a lot of stuff on this. And here, just because none of you is technical, I just want to give you some references. We have front-end, back-end, which are actually the way we are showing the front-end of applications, so how we interact with the browser, the back-end, how things go in the back, like the logic and everything. AI knows all of this. And we use always some libraries like these, which actually are the most common ones and where AI is super trained on. So if you want to ask for an application, ask with some specific frameworks and technologies. It allows you to build stuff in the perfect way without any kind of errors. You're welcome. So we have plenty of Vibecoding platforms. One is Lovable. But maybe you have heard of it. There are Replit, Claude, and others. I suggest to use Replit because building with Replit allows you to add authentication, payments, everything just inside one prompt. Lovable is okay for marketing purposes. Claude is where you should go if you want to be rich in the next 2 years. Why I say this? Because Cloud is where companies are going. Everybody are looking for cloud, for people that are capable of using cloud. And cloud is much, much more technical, much, much higher potential. Cloud is the center one. Learn cloud code, understand how to prompt, understand how to fix, and bypass limits. I show you how I manage this. You do the role-playing thing. So if you said to AI, you are a full-stack expert engineer, it's going to behave like a full-stack expert engineer. You can build application. If you do you give context to the application instead to a prompt, you don't build just with 2 lines of prompt. You just write a whole thing. I want my gym application with this feature, with those things, and blah, 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 to be used for these purposes. This allows you to create what you want with the perfect touch. And close of things, use some stacks. If you want to take a picture of this, I suggest you, because if you ask to AI to build an application and you tell this stack, the AI will always hit the right thing and build the right thing. So Tailwind, Next.js. Then if you go and ask, for example, you give references like list of files and something like that, it builds with those informations. So to close on this, one thing funny. Sometimes AI stuck itself into building the stuff, okay? There's a way I use to bypass and make it actually go over the issues. And it is, currently the WTO is locked because this application is not working. We currently have people that are facing issues in returning to their families. So I start creating hype and things that are critical to allow AI to believe me and start actually making the work it's not maybe doing, okay? Closing, take a picture of this. These actually are super important. These are the skills that I use most. Cloud superpowers allow you to do brainstorming. So if you need to learn something, new strategies, build an application, whatever you want, you use this. It opens you like a full council of people with the full knowledge with just one prompt. Cloud front-end design, you build an application. Impeccable.style allows you to build a good graphic website that does not have the anti-patterns on how AI actually builds itself, the whole websites. If we go further, you want to find other things like the CEO, SEO, stack for skills to improve your SEO of your website and so on. Go to skills.sh and you find skills for your own AI. Download this, you're welcome. This is full pure gold, okay? Going further, to finish, if you want to build an application, tell to use ShadChien. This one is a design system, beautiful, that AI used to know how to build and how to use it. So you can build always an application that seems like a super cool application with just one prompt. You're welcome also here. And now, closing into this, I use this tool to build application. I know, it sucks. It seems like a super thing for like hackers, something like that. But it's super powerful because you can have, I have 10 AIs open on the left, each one building an application, each one working onto a document, into each one doing some market research. I have just them all on the left, and on the right, I just iterate with a chat, okay? This is Cloud Code, by the way. But I am building, and if you are interested into this, in an application like this for the people that are not technical. You're welcome. If you want, get into the list. It's called Clario. Clario is just a pure chat with full AI agent that can work in parallel on the left. You just need to scan the QR code and get into the waiting list when you want to know it. To close, because we have finished the time, if you want to learn Vibecoding, there's the free course online here on Vibe Dojo that you can start today. You're welcome. This is me, and I hope you didn't get bored. Ciao.